Hey everybody, welcome to the official Wildhearts channel. This is our Wildhearts Wednesday Tamer Talk, and you may notice Dawn's not with us today. So instead we got John filling in for her. John is another one of our staff members and stood up and is gonna fill in for Dawn today. John, what do you do for our team here? Like what's your purpose?
Well, purpose is a strong word, but it is the correct one. So I am often going to be behind the scenes, working sure that the cards and rulebooks do and say what they should. And I'm trying to make sure that everyone has the best experience possible when they get their hands on Wild Hearts Academy or any of the other World of Wild Hearts games.
For sure, yeah. John, he was with us actually in the very first podcast as well. So you may be familiar with him. He's also very active in the Discord, just as active as pretty much the rest of us. So yeah, nice to have him here on the channel again and giving his insight. We have finally got our hands on some Academy physical products starting yesterday. I believe backers were getting all their product in and opening it. You got yours in yesterday?
Oh, yes. And it's awesome. I am so psyched to actually get to play this physically and not just on Tabletopia.
For sure. Anytime you get to play physically, it elevates the game. Like if you enjoy a game like on Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator, whatever your forte is, and you enjoy it there, you'll exponentially enjoy it physically, I feel like. So it also
Oh,
just
absolutely.
speeds it up in general, so you don't have to the slow dragging of like cubes and things like that. Like once you don't have to do that anymore, just the game speeds up and it's just so much better. So I got mine in yesterday as well, but I have not opened it aside from literally I opened up the box and I had to pull out some extra stuff that the team sent me for other content and things like that. But the Academy portion is untouched, so everyone here, you get to see the raw unedited opening, struggling with packaging potentially. We'll see and how that goes. But before we jump into it, let's take this moment to kind of talk about what we've been up to lately. Everyone loves this the personal touch portion of a podcast, and this is going to be no different. So anything going on in the U.S.? We had the 4th of July over this past weekend, so anything exciting there?
Yeah, so I actually got to host a game night at my house. It was a nail biter about whether we'd have Academy in time or not. We were just a smidge shy, and that's all right. But we had a blast, played lots of social deduction games, did some Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, and yeah, it was awesome. So between that and my usual array of TCGs, I have been getting those game muscles warmed up, and yeah, ready to go with Academy and whatever else is coming down the pipeline.
Right on,
How about
right
you,
on.
Chase?
I'm still trying to get my family in that mode of playing more like just board games in general and things like that. My wife has played the TCG with me before, so she's excited to get these new cards and try them out as well. But Academy, though, we'll see. We'll see if I can get her on board with some Academy. I'm sure she will. But over the 4th, we actually went camping. So it was my wife's and my daughter's very first time camping. So we went to the lake,
Oh, wow.
had the tent and everything, put it up. We were invited by some friends of ours, and we went actually the day after 4th. So like the crowds had cleared out and things like that. But the campsite they were at was super small for tent camping. So they actually already had 2 tents in place, and we were stuck with like putting our tent up on like the driveway portion where you park your cars at that
Oh,
campsite.
no.
Yeah. So it was super rocky, but we had like the pads and stuff to go underneath our sleeping bag, but it was still brutal. My wife didn't sleep well at all. She actually went up going to the truck to sleep in the back seat instead. And then the next morning when we were packing up, we flipped over the blue foam mats, the super cheapo ones that you get for camping. We flipped it over, and it was just like jagged rock indents all over it. It looked so brutal, and like there was so much like points into it. I don't even know if it was doing anything. Like it was that rough. So, but they still enjoyed it. I was shocked. Even after all that, they still enjoyed it and want to go camping again. So cool. Very, very excited for that. I went camping a lot as a kid, but not really as an adult. Being in the Army kind of, just ruins camping for you for several years. Imagine that. But I'm excited to go camping again and bring my family. So much more enjoyable now. But yeah,
Nice.
let us go ahead and rock and roll here. Switch it over. I've got my my Wildhearts TCG 2-player mat laid out for you guys as kind of our background for today. So hopefully there's no issues with the camera. Let me pull out this box here. So a decent sized box. We got lots and lots of packing filler here. Thank you to our packing team. Chris, that guy, he even put in a piece of like trash. It was like a label like ripped off of the box that he just like threw into the box as more packing. It's like, really, guy? It was very funny. I feel like it was intentional, just for me, no doubt. All right,
Extra special for you.
Yeah. So we got our 4 different character packs here. This is going to have the playable characters as well as the rivals. So we'll go ahead and crack those open in just a minute. We have, of course, our lovely box. Wow, that thing is heavier than expected. I know there's a lot of cards in here, but that's got some heft to it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty nice. What else we got in here? Oh yes. Promos. We got some foil promos here. Love to see that. What is this? Something is amiss. There's 3. I don't know why there's 3. All right, and then playmat. That should be it. I don't think I ordered any of the extra stuff. Unfortunately, I was not able to back for myself to get like the super cool, extravagant stuff. I really wanted to play the game and then have all the pieces to play it as well. So let's go ahead. Let's roll out this playmat so we can get that down as well and take a look at it. And you've opened up all your stuff, right, and gone through it all.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had to see it. I do not have the patience you do, clearly.
Clearly. All right. And so this is a 14 by 24, so really good size. I love this box. Like a good box to put it back into. Like as a TCG player, having all the like mat tubes and stuff like that. You only have so many of those, and usually you have more mats than you do tubes. So having a good box and then like a dedicated box, what's in this box, so I can just reuse it. That's nice.
And if you squint behind me, you can see on my door there I have a full 24 mat rack up there on it.
Golly.
So, if you're looking for something to keep your mats, do that. And I wonder what those 2 massive mats on the bottom could be.
Do you have
Only
2?
1 game. I do have 2.
Wow. That is some dedication for sure. All right, here we go. So yeah, this is what standard, pretty much TCG size playmat then, I believe.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, looks great. Feels great. We got the rubber backing, so your good old standard kind of TCG mat. No stitched edging, but I feel like I'm in the minority here, but I don't like stitched edging on my mats. Whenever I play, I'll often like rest my wrist like while I'm holding my cards, and for whatever reason, depending on the company doing the stitch edging, sometimes they use it's like fishing line, like plastic, what feels like fishing line to stitch it with, and that is like razor blades on my wrist, which I'm not that edgy kid anymore. I don't need to do anything like that. So I actually like non-stitched edgings myself there. But I know a lot of people like them just because, the longevity of the mat is a lot better with those stitch edges. So, all right. So colors look great. Just like we had with the 2-player from Foundations. We have that nice, like, kind of shiny, a little bit of metallic-y in the colors here. For the most part, at the top with the yellow, you don't really see it as much. It is there, but with like the red and the blues, there's a lot better like metallic-y shine to it, which I really dig that whole look of. Like, any chance I can have foil as a TCG gamer, give me foil on stuff, and I'm here for it. I can get foil on my mats now. Like, yes, absolutely, sign me up. So and yeah, the colors just, oh man, they really pop. We got the round tracker there, which you don't need the mat to play, but just for the round tracker, I like it. And the reminder of how many cards that you want in the study at all times, and like after you take one, it's that blank spot there is a nice reminder to like flip a card to keep it full at all times. So I'm all about having any sort of reminders possible, because I can be a little bit forgetful. We also have the instead of actually laying out the cards that come in the box, which we'll get to in a moment, we actually have the printed on like mastery abilities, as well as the fields. Of course, have how many of the dummy cubes to place out there, again as a nice reminder. So yeah, that's great. Love to see it. Let's go ahead and crack open this box here. So what's been your favorite thing about it so far that you've really been enjoying?
So far, I mean, you know, because a lot of time was spent on it. Uh, I'm a big fan of the rules document, haha. But seriously, I think it is just, actually getting the feel of the cards. I think that the mat is actually really nice. I'm a big fan of having something that's pretty modular for storage. And a lot of the time when I'm playing games like this, I travel. So I go on family vacations. My wife's family always does a trip to Colorado, and I know I'll be bringing this game. And when you have a mat like this that you can just roll up a few decks of cards and some cubes, you can just pop right in easily, and it's great. Like, it's a really nice way to have a game that's, pretty reasonably deep strategically and good looking just on the go. So I think the modularity of it's awesome. I love the art. Shout out again to Chris for knocking that out of the park. And yeah, my cat also is a fan. He sees that stream and he clearly loves it. So yeah, give your hellos to Koopa if you are watching. He is also
Koopa.
right there with you.
Got the Koopa Troopa. Yeah,
Yes,
so
indeed.
the book here, we actually, it's not like just a big old folded up pamphlet this time. It's actually, a stapled book here, so you can kind of go through, see everything. Everything looks good. Everything came out. It's all nice and clearly printed there. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Where are you, camera? There we are. So easy to read. And yeah, and a reminder of like what all the abilities are. And then on the back, you have all the reminders of like all the styles and things like that. And the types, like card types. You got your creatures, your items, and your tactics. So yeah, if anything in here is not clear, everybody, just blame John. So
Yep, my fault. 100%.
yep, could not be
Please,
anything else.
handwritten letters directly to my house. Chase, do you know what Chris's address is? Let's tell him that's mine. But anyway, yeah, just feel free, like genuinely though, if you have any questions, like join the Discord, reach out. Like, we want you guys to play this game and have the most fun doing it, and we don't want you to be confused. So just let
Absolutely.
us know, but we've put a lot of effort in to make sure that you won't be and can pick it up yourself, but that doesn't mean we're not going to recognize when people are going to need help and when we need to improve things.
For sure. Yeah, great point there. Yeah, the Discord, we're all pretty much always available. We also do have a how to play video, so anyone that is curious, there is that in case, people are shy. I know people also don't like to join Discords and things like that, so if they can find a video online that explains it, we have that as well. So, and if anything, of course, is still not clear, yeah, we are available here. Let's see. So this is our player boards here, and this is going to be, I don't want to damage these, but there's not like the little flip clear, like the sticky part. So I've got to just rip into it. So it's mine now. My saliva has touched it.
One of a kind set now.
All right. So yeah, these are real solid. I mean, we're talking like good playing card stuff here. Not textured like playing cards, but still good solid cards. They are a bit bigger than your standard size cards. They are tarot size, so they can fit everything that you need. Yeah, and they just line up real nicely. So you can play your cards out and you know where they're going. We got the green ones here. We have the pink Sakura ones, which is pretty cool. We've got these nice purple ones, and then your generic kind of gray ones. Also, so they've got the rival on one side, and you can flip it over to the student on the other side. Graded stays the same, but here, I'll show you this one a little bit closer. It's got, yeah, so student and then preparation area, and then if you just flip it over, you have the rival and then the cards to play. This is essentially like where their hand goes. So for anyone that's not played and not familiar with it, that's where their hand basically goes that they're going to play out every round.
Right, and the rival, so you know, is an automated player. So if you're looking to play solo against one of the students in their rival mode, or you're looking to add another player to a 3-player or 2-player game, you can bring in rivals to play with and against, and they are quite the challenge. I know the last time that Chase and I took a rival on, it ended quite poorly for us, but you know, other times have gone better. And they are fun. There is definitely a bit of a change up you have to make to adjust your game, but you would have to do that with any opponent. So they're not pushovers. You don't just have a high score counter. They are going to pose a challenge. So yeah, dive on in there and play against them. They're a blast.
Yeah, for sure. They're not pushovers. It's a definitely one of those challenges of balancing. Okay, I'm trying to win and beat all the other players, but also at times we need to work together to like put this rival in check because he's getting a little out of hand. He or she or they, whoever, they can be pretty nasty if left unchecked. All right.
Oh, yes.
So, all right, I want to wait on these. So we've seen the player boards here. Let's look at these cubes. These beautiful cubes. Most I feel like most people are going to be like pretty familiar with cubes like this because you see them in other board games. That nice clear blue. So I think they're all clear. But yeah, they got such a nice look to them. If the camera will focus, I don't know if it will that close, but they are very pretty though, and they're pretty lightweight. I don't know. I think they're acrylic. They're not glass. So
yeah. And there's 2 more cubes that you can't even see right there. They're hiding in the decks, the doubling cubes, but we won't make Chase drag those out.
Well played. And yeah, I'm just gonna dump all these out. Who cares about organization? I'm sure someone watching this is gonna cringe just hearing that. Yeah, you got the clear ones there, which they work with the gray board, but also they work really nicely for the dummy cubes there, which are kind of that white grayish on the play mat there. We got the purple ones. Yeah, these are pretty dark, so not quite as clear as the others, but they're still there. You can kind of see it right there. The pink ones, which are very vibrant. These were also a little bit harder to get for us, but they came out great, so love to see them. And what do we got left? Green. Oh, I love these green ones. These green ones pop, like just absolutely pop. They're so satisfying in the hand. Like it's just such a weird thing, but yeah, I don't know. Feels good. I'm like a texture person. I have to touch things and like feel them, and they have a good feel to them. So I like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Dex is my real life dump stat, but I try my best when it comes to cubes and cards, and I like the games at least. Just don't make me shuffle or juggle, please.
Oh goodness. Are you a hand shuffler in TCGs? Where you're like flipping cards real fast in your hand?
Totally. Yeah. I gotta do something, right? I was born too late for fidget spinners, right? But or too early probably.
Oh gosh.
Who knows?
Yeah, too early. Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah. It was pretty funny though. Most people I know were either older or younger than me who had one, but I feel like not a lot of people my age did. So funny.
Yeah, I had some, but like I don't even know where I got them. Like I didn't actively buy them, but I had them, so it's like okay, cool, sure.
They just showed up.
Yep. Always like the shurikens that people like would spin on their fingers. Like I had some of those as a kid, and then so when they came out with fidget spinners, it was like the same thing, but it was like socially acceptable. So
yeah, I usually just have a bunch of dice next to my desk, or like pens or something like that.
All right, so we got our fields here. So if you don't have the play mat, you still have your fields here. So that's really nice, and they are double-sided. So if you're playing a 3 or 4 player game, then you'll use this side here. But then if you're playing a 2 player game, or a one versus a rival, then you'll use the dummy cubes here, the reminder. So having both sides, I think, is really nice. Instead of just being one side with just the one, you can have the reminder or not have the reminder. So, and so we got the prepare one here on the green field. We got the local village here, which has the gain the first player token, and then the dangerous summit, which is just a ton of victory points instead of having a little niche ability to it. So we're actually going to be talking about some other stuff later in the video here for anyone that's going to be sticking around. But our next Kickstarter is going live pretty soon. So we've got a couple reveals for you guys. Well, mainly one reveal, but then talking about some other stuff. And I'll give you a hint. Some of it has to do with fields. So you're not going to be playing on the same thing every single game. It's going to get some crazy diversity going on. All right, next we've got... Okay, so this is the rival deck here that's going to go... Oh, that bothers me. Okay, there's the Kaido and Raph. That means her card is somewhere in the back. Let me crack one over these open. I'm sure I would hope it was going to be in this one.
Yeah, well, you got more rivals in there, too.
I just wish
her
rival card was like right on top. I wish. I do love Hydra. Oh, no. Okay, so this is the Hydrophon. We're going to get there. I like that these are so much easier to open. Like, they're solidly packed, so you don't have to worry about it. But also, they're not, like, so sealed on the ends where you're, like, scratching and, like, potentially damaging the cards. I know with, like, starter decks and things like that in TCGs, that happens a lot. Of course, it's going to be the last one. That's the Lady Seer on the back. Yeah, pops right open. Real nice. Nice and easy, but still does its job well. I've been had.
You have been had, Chase.
Where is my card for her? All right, so there's Kaido, there's Michelle and Ivy. I don't think I've missed it anywhere.
So,
all right, there's Javi and Ray.
Yeah.
If I would just open my eyes.
Yeah.
It's right there. Oh gosh. Okay. So yeah, we have the 4 rival decks that are included in the deck here. We got Javi and Ray, which as a playable character, they're some of my favorites there. So I'm all about doggos and best boys. So yeah, so these cards, they feel really good. They're nice, sturdy. Got that nice flip sound. And yeah, so the artwork, you can't really mix these up because the artwork's the same for the rival deck, right? So every one of them will go together. You'll have their reminder text for their special rule. That's going to be right there on top, and then their starting deck. So really cool. And then we have, this should be everything needed for...
Well,
there we go.
You got some cards that are going in that study deck.
Yeah.
A couple starter cards.
So that should be all the study, and then this is all of the playable characters. Set that to the side. Stack these up here. New cards. It's like when you get new sleeves and you go to set it down, and then the whole stack just spills over because fresh sleeves.
Yep.
All right, so this is going to be our study deck here. So we got the field guide. We got our Fury Potion here. Mostly just looking at kind of the artwork. Got the Earth Bauble, the Rapture. So we got our creatures now. Our Amptar Foresight, which is a tactics card. We got another creature in the Magibee, the Granite, which I love the artwork on the Granite. It's probably my favorite artwork in the study deck, I think.
Interesting.
I can't wait to get him in the TCG, honestly. We got our Bounce Orb, which the artwork from this is one of the promos that we got with this for the TCG. So there's a lot of crossover here. I mean, a lot of this is crossover stuff, right? We got the Fury Potion, we got our Field Guide, the Rapture, of course, the Amptar, Magibee, which should be coming pretty soon, I think, in the TCG. We got our Bounce Orb, Surging Strike. Everyone loves Surging Strike. Any chance you can get plus 1 power for each card in your hand. Like, that is like the opening move right there of what you want in the beginning of a round, it feels like.
Everyone loves Doubling Cube. This is the one we actually enjoy. Put that Surging Strike away.
Also, wow, what a beautiful card. I kind of wish we had gotten this as a foiled promo. That would have been beautiful.
Yeah, it's twice as good as the other one, hence the doubling, so it would make sense. But
this guy, yes. Get your draw engine going on this. Pretty nice.
Yeah. That is one of my favorite cards to play with personally, so hope you all enjoy it as much as I do.
Oh, I'm sure. So Magical Melody. I'm not sure who plays Magical Melodies, but I'm sure we'll find out eventually. Our Silfunk here, Pengos, which is another one of our promo cards. We got the Allusion, another card that we seen in the starter set. The Tortu here. Love the Tortu. Just such a simple creature and just such a solid one. No pun intended there, because he is a crystal turtle. Scroll of Healing. We got our Hydrofen, which I love this artwork a lot more than the one we got in Foundations. I just get to see it. It's just bigger, I think, is it? It's not so far away. Our Ballast Whistle for our Ballast Academy right here. Also in the TCG. We got our Ward Spell. I think I like Ward Spell almost the most out of all the like defense cards in the game, because it's got that draw. The draw engine on it so nice, and it's just like you play it out, and then once it's there, then it's just you know, a good little stun target for you.
Definitely, and it's one of those cards where if you're on the other side of it, you want to leave that up so you don't stun it and let them get that really powerful effect on defense, but letting them get 2 cycles gets your opponent closer to grading and is just so strong. It really forces a dilemma that you're not going to want to face. So Ward Spell is very, very good if you can get it out against attacking strategies.
Mm-hmm. And if you have like any abilities that trigger like on play effects of cards in your plan, like getting that cycle again. So it's like, if you're gonna let it sit there and I'm gonna activate its ability again, you're gonna really wish you had stunned it, probably.
Yeah. And you know, one other thing I love about Academy is when you look at any one of these cards, there's going to be it's very, very good if, and that if isn't super specific. Most of these cards all have their home, all have their situation, and they're good. Like I've like playing some other deck builders, there are certainly some cards you want and some cards you don't. And I don't think it falls so neatly in Academy, so I've
Oh yeah,
enjoyed that aspect of the game a lot.
yeah. Like, I feel like every card has had its use. Depending, and also like a lot of cards will have really good synergistic abilities depending on like an overall strategy you're going for. So like something like the Magibee, when you prepare a card, you know, draw one, discard one, draw one, discard one twice. So that's amazing if you're doing a lot of preparing. So depending on, you know, which of the Tamer familiar combos you're using, you know, you'll see a lot more synergy and things like that. So the replayability is fantastic in this. So because yeah, your strategies can change so drastically from every playthrough that it's really nice. I don't know how to
Right.
say this. Antipode, Antipod Hourglass. I'm gonna get flamed by the development team on that one. But a beautiful, beautiful artwork though. Super, super cool.
Yeah. Also a very neat ability as well. Drill Attack. I know this one is my wife's favorite in terms of the promo arts. Like the if you show the foiling off on that one when you get the chance, those seeds really pop. Like this card is sweet.
Yeah. Also, like the white lines, you don't really see them so much here. Like, of course, you see them, but like they don't like pop. But when you see the foil, though, oh yeah, it's gonna be a game changer. And we got our Blisterno here. We got our Inner Fire. I cannot wait for him to get to the TCG. Y'all don't even know how excited I am to see the our little Yeti friend here. And then we got our Tigerin, which, yeah, that goes in this deck. Making sure. All right, then we have our player decks here. So you'll have all your extra copies, of course, for each of the decks. You'll have 2 that goes in each deck. So you've got, what is that, 8 in total there?
Yeah, and 8 jelly canes is exactly what Chase likes to have in his hands when we're playing the TCG. So this is pretty natural for me to see him doing this. It's exactly his natural habitat.
Absolutely. You don't even know. Our Petalamander. We got our Warders here. Our Lady Seers. Underrated card, too. That push out effect, the supplant, and then the draw discard. Super good.
Yeah.
Terror Chick, also a great card. This is another one that's like a kind of a debate. Do you want to leave it in your plan for the offensive ability, but or do you want that, you know, that kick out effect for that +2 power? Can definitely be a dilemma. I got our Shadow Herbs for our more offensive play styles and play patterns. All right. And then we have all of our playable characters. We got Gabriella, and Hiss here. So we got our little snake. She is definitely one of the more aggressive players there. Stun each opposing highest graded card, and then play a card from your hand. Pretty good there, only for 3. And then her tactics card, which just it's like a watered down jelly cane, right? It gives you 1 mastery instead of the 2. And then its leaving effect is like the Lady Seers, so it's got that +2 power. We got Kaito and Raph, our little monkey boy here. Only a 2 mastery, so a lot easier to get off. Probably one of the easiest, I believe, that we have currently. Swap any 2 cards in your plan, then play a card from your hand. Super underrated card. Being able to swap 2 cards, keeping those ongoings like far from being kicked out, or also getting them out of potentially bad spots, such as the two slot can be really bad for like the Shadow Herb and stuff like that. Like everyone starts with Shadow Herb in their deck, so like it's something you've always got to be kind of aware of. So getting, if you don't have any of your defensive cards, having this ability here to swap those around, really good.
Right, and don't forget too, you also can get those cards out of your plan with him as well. You don't just have to keep ones in, you can get those powerful exit effects a lot sooner. And I think that this character, Kaido, is probably the hardest one to play right out of the box. He definitely has a pretty high skill ceiling, but the reward is there if you can master him. He's very cool.
Yeah, that is a great point. Yeah, because you can swap a card that's literally in the play area that you just played on the previous round, swap it to the end, and then because the second part is then play a card from your hand, you're going to immediately pretty much kick that card out that you just put to the end. So yeah, that's a great point. His Cunning Gambit here, this is his special tactics card. For each opponent who cannot defend this, +1 power there. So in a bigger game, this definitely has way more value than like in a 2-player game, I feel like. But the exit effect, though, it doesn't matter how many people you're playing with. That draw engine is going to be really great. So he's got that draw 1 discard 1 twice. Is such a powerful effect. So yeah, definitely a fan of this, no matter what. All right.
Sure, and oh boy,
Oh
now
no,
we have
go for it. You had something to say?
I was just gonna say, like with that effect too, it's one that gets better the more of them you have. So the more you're drawing and discarding, that means the more you're going to be grading your cards every time you empty out your deck and have to reshuffle. So, sometimes when you're playing a game like this, it's like, all right, I've had enough. I've had my fill. That's all I need. But with Kaido and Raph, you're like, yeah. If that card says draw and discard, it's probably going to help my strategy a lot, and you really want to scoop all of those up. They play so well with him.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and again, with his ability there, you can just always pretty much set those up to exit very quickly, and it's such a low cost that you can do it pretty regularly. So.
Oh yeah, especially if someone's playing this next card. Chase is going to talk about here.
Yes.
After Michelle and Ivy.
Michelle and Ivy here. It's another 2-cost one. It's a discard 1 to summon a card with at least 1 matching style. This character is really solid. I think very new player friendly. So instead of and very efficient, I would say, right? Because you only have to discard 1 card instead of the normal 2 to summon. So like that is just incredible efficiency with card advantage. And then her special tactics card here is +2 mastery. So you play that and you can immediately activate her effect right afterwards. So really powerful. Each student who cannot defend this gains 1 mastery as well. So while yes, it is very powerful of gaining 2 mastery, you can also potentially give your opponent some as well. But having an attack card is just really cool. The exit effect of just a supplant 1, definitely not as powerful as some of these other exit effects, but when your play effect is that strong, like imagine having 4 jelly canes in your deck. That's pretty solid, I would say. Also,
Yeah.
the graded value is 3 on this one instead of like 2 on most of the other ones, I would say.
Yeah, so if you can, get this card graded right there on that last turn of the game after getting all your value, chef's kiss. It is wonderful.
For sure. Yeah, it's definitely not one you're going to want to grade early, because being able to use that, get that mastery for her play effect or for her mastery ability. Yeah, it's not one you want to grade soon, but definitely one you want to grade by the end of turn 3 going into round 3 going into round 4.
Sure.
And then we got the Javi and Ray, which I love this card, especially in a 2-player game or the one versus rival. It's 4 costs, which is pretty steep, but supplant 2. And when you're playing with dummy cubes, this is just so much easier to get off, because depending on your opponent's playstyle, they might not even be going for the fields as much. They might be just grading cards and just kind of doing their own thing, and then you're going to lose a lot of value with Javi and Ray in those kind of games, which, again, the bigger the game, probably the less likely you have to worry about that. But in a dummy cube game, you're always going to have the value of Javi and Ray's mastery ability there. But it is pretty
For
steep,
sure.
though, for cost.
Oh, yeah. And of course, there's some hidden text here, because a lot of these other abilities have talked about playing a card from your hand, and you'll notice Javi and Ray does not say that. So sometimes that's an advantage if you're Kaido and Raph and you want to exit that card you just swapped immediately. But if you're Javi and Ray, you can supplant and see what your opponent does. If they try to react and take that field back, maybe you can do something to upset that balance and put it back in your favor. But if they decide, well, I can't win it anymore, I'm going to do other things, you can focus more on grading, getting cards from the study, or doing something else that helps you in the long term. So,
Yep.
Javi and Ray, also super, super strong, very new player friendly. And the only thing I like about them more than their character, like just their mastery, is the actual card that comes with them. It is a 6/6 defense card, especially to go in the starting deck.
For sure, yeah, we'll talk about it in just a second. But yeah, all 3 of these other ones, they all, basically all their abilities either require you to immediately play a card from hand or discard a card in the case of Michelle. So you'll never have like hand card advantage that you will with Javi and Ray. So yeah, that's a great point. Is allows you to keep that hand advantage just for a little bit longer than your opponent, especially if you're going second, or just not first, right? So you're already playing from behind, and then using this effect to play even further behind. So when you're trying to like snipe a field at the end and get the most power in it, and you don't know, you don't not sure where your opponent's going to want to play, so you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. This is another one that really helps you kind of wait that out to see what your opponent's going to do, and then have that information to then play. So, but again, 4 cost mastery, you gotta use it at a pretty good time. So, and then yeah, here's the jungle tactics. This is the one you were just referring to. It has a block ability. Discard this card instead. Prepare 1. So again, just instant card advantage for sure. You don't have to discard a card to prepare. You just get it, right? And it's on a defensive ability. And then the exit effect is each student gains +1 mastery. Then you draw a card. So it says then draw +1, but that's a different line of text, different sentence, so it only applies to you. So again, more card advantage. So if you don't end up actually getting the card advantage off the defense, you'll get it off the exit effect there.
And draw a card is so powerful in this game. It's not quite the same as, but pretty close to go again or get another turn in that round. So yeah, this card is premium, and it will basically be getting you an action's worth of stuff no matter what your opponent wants to do about it.
Yep. And its grade value is also a 3. So it's another one that's like, you really want to grade it, because the grade of that's a +3, because there's no own value. It's just a grade 3. So it's one you really want to grade, but also one you really want to keep in for as long as possible as well. So timing out when you can grade this towards the end of the game is can be really ideal. It doesn't always work out, but we hope for these kind of plays when we're setting up.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but really fantastic again. I love Javi and Ray. Really cool stuff. But yeah, that is it for the 4. And then we have our extra stuff here. So we have our point cards, which I thought this was super clever. Grab one of each here. So you have your points, and then so you just kind of slide it down to help keep track of just a nice little inclusion here. So as you're gaining points, you're just like sliding it down. And then, okay, well, I'm at 9 now. Well, let's just rotate it here. I'm at 10. 11, and it goes on to 20, 30, all the way up to, what is this, 70? Yeah. So you can have all the way up to 70 there. So, which,
yeah, and
I can't think of a time that I've ever gone over. Hello, Till. I don't think I've ever gone over a time of 79 points. So,
yeah, I guess you got to keep practicing then. I hear a lot from the team that they get over 80 points all the time. So I don't know why the cards only go up to 79. Maybe that's throwing down the gauntlet there, but who knows?
Yeah. Beat the system. Can you beat the system? We got our player aid cards, which I'm glad these were able to be fit in. I think at one time they had talked about maybe not being able to fit them into the box just because we had so many cards and trying to fit everything into that one hang tab, but they ended up still making it in, so I'm really, really happy for that. Just a reference of all the different, just the symbols in general of what they all mean, so that's really nice. And then on the back side as well, we have a turn reference, so what all you can do on your turn, and then like kind of just a basic setup there, right, of just kind of, hey, this is how you play the game. We also have our first player card, so if you're winning the red field, of course you're going to be getting the first player card. And then on the back side, if when the game ends and you have the first player card here, you're going to gain a little VP, and it's got a nice little reminder there, end of gain 1 VP. So, and then the mastery card as well, which we saw was printed on the map, or mat, not map. It's not a map. I wish it was a map. That'd be kind of cool. I guess it kind of is, right? You have the different fields there, and it's, yeah, sure, it's kind of mappy. But in case you don't have it, you have the reminder text here of being able to use the mastery. You may spend 1 mastery to change any card's type to a wild if you prepare or summon a card, or to use mastery abilities. So nice little inclusion there as well. Again, I love that you don't need the game board, and you could just literally just take just the core box and go, like you're saying, like on trips and stuff like that. Even if you don't have the mat, like you can just lay it out on a coffee table or a counter at if you're staying in a hotel or whatever, and then crack it open and play, because you've got the extra pieces there.
Right, and even with the cubes, as long as you have something to carry those, you can fit most of the stuff in an oversized deck box, even if you don't want to bring the packaging, which is great as well.
True. I haven't actually tried to fit it in a deck. Well, I mean, of course I haven't. I just got it, but I haven't actually compared how big the stacks are.
Yeah, and it's the tarots that get you, but everything else fits just fine. It's roughly 100 cards, so given the popularity of certain collectible card games, Commander format, 100 card deck is pretty standard if you're trying to get a box to fit that.
Oh boy. All right, so we have our pillow packs here for our rivals, and part of me doesn't want to damage these. All right, so I'm going to come out the bottom here just because I don't want to rip the top. I don't know why, but I want to be so gentle with it. Nice and easy to open there, and then poof. So, and these can really expand out, so depending, it leaves room for growth later on. And then our clear packaging here, just to kind of keep the cards sealed so they don't rattle around in that box or anything like that. Helps keep them protected. Another card claimed. All right, and yes, so this is Abigail and Rufio. This is her mastery ability is a 5 cost, like the most expensive. Plus power for each might card in the study if you gain, or not card, just for each might symbol in the study. So if you have a might card that has 2 might symbols there, you get 2 for that 1 card. So really strong. If you gain 2 power or less, you get a draw card. So there is some nice benefits to that there. On when to time it out can be really tricky. So pretty powerful card. And then
Don't be foolish and go for 3. You really want to go for, 4 or 5, or get that nice sweet spot of 2, draw your card.
yeah,
Like, that feels really good.
and then I believe this is her card, right? Yeah. So her tactics card: for each opponent that cannot defend this, +2 power in the summit. I have used this to gain the full Monty, right? So the full 6 there. If I start with this in my opening hand, when players don't have any kind of defensive card, like they don't start with the Terror Chick in play, and just drop this, and boom, I've got 6 cubes in the summit immediately as soon as the the game begins. So really, really powerful. And then the exit effect: prepare 1 or swap a card in your hand with the top card of your preparation area. So that can be really good as well. So really powerful effect.
Yeah, especially slick when you have cards that can grade from your prepared area. You can pick up the card you want, put maybe one of those high grading value cards that you're not looking to play down into your discard pile, take a Hydrophon or something else, slide it on over to grading. There is a lot you can do that's very cool.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this is kind of a bit more of a high ceiling sort of exit effect there.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have her rival deck as well here. Her special rule: she always wins ties. So be prepared. She is a field scoring fiend. Yeah, so there's no tying her and getting the same amount, which is a tactic I use in a lot of my games. It's like, I'm just gonna tie you just because I don't want you to get that much bigger of a lead on me. So, and then she's like, no, that strategy doesn't work with me. So, but yeah, really cool. I'm not gonna go through every single one of her rival cards. Like, this video is already gonna be long, and I feel like that would be even crazier. All right. What do we got here? Jeremy and Flack. I don't have a ton of experience with Jeremy and Flack.
Jeremy and Flack, believe it or not, also pretty sick. This is a character who I have not yet actually played with, but of course I've read and been through all these cards, and that mastery ability is so cool. I'm looking forward to this one.
So yeah, 3 cost here. Shuffle 1 creature card from the study into your deck. You may discard to prepare 1. Yeah, that's and it's a may. I love that second part is a may. So for 3 mastery, I can just shuffle a creature card from the study into my deck. Kind of what we were talking about Javi and Ray earlier. That doesn't involve using cards from your hand, so it allows you to play behind a little bit from what everyone else is doing, and allows you to be more reactive. But also, if there's also a really good card in the study that you want, in addition to that, you can discard a card to go ahead and prepare it. So any kind of preparing synergies that you might have, which we looked at the Magiby earlier, when you prepare a card, you draw, discard, draw, discard. So whatever creature you just shuffled into your deck, you might actually be able to just immediately draw into with this guy, in that kind of like synergy. And then his tactics card is just gain a mastery, 1 mastery there. And then its exit effect is an attack. For each opponent who cannot defend this, discard 3 cards from the top of your deck. That must, like, for a new player coming in, that must seem like the wildest, like, how does that help me kind of strategy. But oh boy, does it.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
In the long run. It adds up very fast.
Yeah, because and remember, every time you can't draw from your deck, everybody, you have to take your discard and grade a card from it, and then shuffle it up, and then draw from that new deck you made. So repeatedly thinning your deck with this card, super good, super good there. But you kind of also need it because you're putting so many extra cards into your deck, that having that this ability to help balance it out, I think, is really nice.
Absolutely.
And then his special rule: when this rival grades a creature card, he prepares 1. So kind of he stays on brand really nicely there. So I dig it.
Oh yeah, and preparing 1 is pretty great because that's racking up those owned points as well alongside the graded ones. It's a total beast once like you sort of hit that mid-game stretch, and suddenly they are just racking up all of these points, and you have no like way to deal with it if you weren't planning ahead. It's really cool. Like Jeremy and Flack are excellent, but now so this is the mean one, Chase. Garrus and Ornn they are not nice, even though they look very nice in the art. They are not kind to you if you are trying to play against this rival.
I don't think I played against his rival. Maybe I did. I think I did one time, but it's been a good bit. But first, his player card. So his mastery ability is a 3 cost. Grade a 0 cost card from your hand to summon any tactics card. A big strategy that people often employ is they like to grade the starter deck cards, so that way when they're drawing their hands at the beginning of the round, they have a higher percentage chance of drawing into those cards that they got from the study that are basically super powerful cards versus the starter cards. So being able to grade, getting these cards out of your hand extra fast, so not only are you doing the normal playing out the cards and stuff like that and then grading as the game goes, but then this is going to like kind of just hype it up there, make it a little bit more hyper efficient in grading those cards and getting them out of your deck even faster. Now, it also allows you to summon any tactics card. So you're discarding a card, kind of similar to what we saw earlier with Michelle and Ivy, right? You're discarding a card to summon a card, where this is like you're discarding a card that's going to go into your graded area, and you can summon any card, but it has to be a tactics card. So the styles don't have to match up like they do in Michelle and Ivy, but the limiting factor is the tactic. It has to be a tactics card, which there are some fantastic ones for sure. He's definitely another high ceiling card of like using him effectively. And then his tactics card +1 mastery. If this pushed a stun card out of slot 1 or 3, +1 power. So nice little balanced, not super aggressive there. But another card that gains mastery, like anytime you're gaining free mastery, is going to be really good, especially when you have a great mastery ability like that. And then the exit effect is +3 power. That's a lot of power for like essentially a card that starts in your deck.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I'm just waiting for you to get to that rival side, though. you're gonna lose it if you don't remember.
All right, let's see. Special rule: when a stun card exits their plan, this rival gains 1 VP. Ouch. And then it's mastery ability, grade 1 tactics card from the student with the most VPs plan. Yeah, let me just start taking all of your tactics cards out. Oh god, out of your plan. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, off your board. Bye bye.
Yeah.
It's
oh, you wanted to exit
cruel.
a card? No, it's gonna take you twice as long now to exit that card.
Yeah, you're not exiting it. Nice, nice owned points there. Those belong to me now. Oh, were you thinking about maybe eventually doing anything with it? Nope, sorry. So you can play around this, but it's very hard. And yeah, do remember what his passive says about when he grades a card, right? So yeah, you got to be really careful around Garrus and Ornn, or they are going to just take all your stuff, and you will not be able to come back from that if they get 2 or 3 cards early on.
Yeah, and in larger games, he just gets even scarier. When a stun card exits their plan, this rival gains 1 VP. Yeah, so the bigger the game and there's lots more stunning going on, yeah, he gets out of control. Crazy. All right, we are down to our last one here. Yeah, this is going to be our longest Tamer Talk video yet. But there was a lot to go over. So,
yeah, and I mean, it's been a fun time. This hasn't felt like an hour.
No. Anytime you get to crack open fresh stuff, it always feels super good. All right, here we go. We have Yuri and Win here. So her mastery ability, grade the top card of your deck. So another one of those that you keep your hand advantage, which is really nice. Grade the top card of your deck. 4 mastery is a lot, but there's ways to mitigate it. I think the scariest part of this, though, is that you start with both your jelly canes in play. So can be kind of rough. So keep that in mind, that you have to cycle those jelly canes back around really quickly. But they're also set up to exit very quickly as well, so you can immediately get those exit effects there. But yeah, allowing you to play from behind is really nice. Grade the top card of your deck, so you're able to cycle out of stuff extra quick. An issue though is it's blind, right? You don't know what you're grading there. You don't want to grade one of your really good cards, right? You would prefer to grade something, that you get a pick. But not to worry, her special card here, put a item card from the study on top of your deck. So you play this, you immediately set up what that top card is. You know you're going to immediately use her ability then to grade said card, and it's on top of the deck. So there's pretty much no way the opponent can really interact with it, at least that we have existing so far, that's going to mess with the top card of your deck. So then being able to use her ability to grade that card that you put there, really cool. And then she has an ongoing, when you grade or prepare an item card or a special card, gain 1 power. So again, synergizes so well. Like her whole kit just synergizes really, really nicely. So I really like that.
Yeah, just another awesome character. And, I'll admit, this one does not spark the same emotional response that some of the other ones do, but that does not mean that Yuri isn't very good.
Yeah, I think she has a high floor, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then her rival deck here, her special rule, at the end of each round, put the cards in the study on the bottom of the deck and refill it. So not as quite as brutal as some of the other ones that we've seen, but also like, oh, you had any sort of plan for cards that existed there? Well, time to, kick that to the curb. Those cards are gone now. And then her mastery, grade the lowest graded card in the study. So, and then, the graded value, like all those are going to be decently high. So she's always going to get value off of this, no matter what's in the study. So, yeah, pretty powerful effect there. That's a lot of VP that she's going to be gaining.
Absolutely.
And that is it. So yeah, this is a long one. I hope we haven't taken too long and we haven't lost people's views here. But I do want to also take this time. I'll go ahead and pull it up. Before we do any sort of closing thoughts here. Our Kickstarter for the expansion is coming on August 5th. So less than a month. We're July 8th recording this, July 9th when it goes live. New rival, new playable character, new student, Camille. Also, new fields. One of the things I wasn't like, I always thought, we can add more characters, add cool new abilities and things like that. But then the design team's like, oh, well, we also have new fields coming that have different effects. So, you have the gain, the first player token, or first player card. Then you have like the prepare one on the peaceful glade, right? No effect on the dangerous summit. But then we're gonna get a reveal them later on. But being able to change those up and add new abilities that people haven't seen yet is gonna be really exciting. But we do actually have a reveal of what Camille does. So this is her player version of Camille in her Dinotar here. 4 mastery costs, gain the play or the leaving effect of a creature card in your plan and grade it. +1, so draw a card and place a card in its slot. Lot going on there, a lot to unpack, as you would say. So being able to just immediately gain the play effect or the leave effect of a card, again, can be crazy. And on a creature card, so there's plenty of good ones that are in like the study deck that you'd love to be able to get. Lots of creature cards in your starting deck as well. Being able to gain the jelly cane immediately, the play effect or the leave effect could be really good just to gain it again. And then you draw a card, and then you place a card in its slot. So it's place, not play. So you don't get the play effect of whatever you play there. So keep that in mind. But it's another one of those, you don't lose card advantage in your hand. You don't have to immediately place a card there from your hand. You actually get a draw. So you're going to end up having the same amount of cards after you play this. So
yeah, and one thing that's like pretty nasty with Camille is you can have a card like Ward Spell that doesn't have any sort of play effect, right? And once you gain that play or exit effect from your creature, you can just slide that Ward Spell in and say, I'm defended, I've lost nothing, I'm getting ahead. You also can choose whether you're going to, if you're going for an exit effect, maybe you want to exit a card from the end of your plan, even though it's already close, so that you can put another great exit effect from your hand down. Maybe you're looking to exit just from your play area because you want that effect right now. Like, there are just a lot of different ways you can use this mastery ability, and I think that the ceiling is very high, and it's going to reward players who are able to figure out what time they should do this. When are they going to make this big play? And yeah, Camille's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. High. I wouldn't say she has a high floor though. Her floor is
Oh
pretty
yeah.
normal. Because yeah, you just think in your head, it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna gain that effect there, and then I get to grade it. Cool. Like you can just think of it like in that regard, and then okay, I'm just gonna put something there to fill the space. But then you can really start to think about like planning on really powerful plays to get really good synergizing plays. Like you're talking about being able to play a card that normally when you play it, it's just like meh. Like I don't get any play effect. It's just gonna kind of sit there, and then like this is just gonna eat that up, eat that action up. Where okay, cool, I got it in play, and I don't have to actually worry about playing it. Cycling that card out that you're grading. And then when depending on what their effect is, not only are you going to get lots of good VP for grading that card, but then immediately getting to use that effect there. There's so much great stuff. Also, the deck cycling as well that people might not consider. That's just almost that extra draw there is just thinning the deck, which allows you to, of course, shuffle in your discard and create your new deck and allow you to grade another card. So there's just a lot going on there. Like more, there it feels like there's more going on at the same time that maybe some players might not consider as a powerful play, but it actually definitely is. Like there's so much more to it than just right there on the surface level.
100%. Just yeah. If you do end up backing and do end up getting Camille, experiment, find out what works, and let us know if there's something we didn't figure out, because there is so much to do with this character, and I am sure that Chase and I have only scratched the surface of all the things that Camille is able to pull off.
For sure. And yeah, we'll have to see what that tactics card is. It's a little bit blurry there, but you can actually see it. It's there. It looks like we got an ongoing there and a play effect. So we'll have to come back for another reveal later on and see what that is and what we got synergizing. But yeah, August 5th. So everyone that's already got Academy and you want more characters to play as and more rivals to play against, you want new fields, we'll have a little expansion for you guys. But anyone also that missed out on our Kickstarter and you're loving everything you're seeing here, you wanted to see the quality of the game first before you backed. Well, now you've seen it. You've seen the quality. The cards are really sturdy playing cards here, so like TCG cards, and yeah, the quality on everything, the cubes is fantastic as well. So no reason not to back on this next Kickstarter. And again, August 5th, less than a month away. So all right, and you've seen our turnaround times. A campaign ends, and then within less than a month, people are already getting their pledges. So like that feels so good. I love that. Any closing thoughts here for our viewers before we close this long video out?
But yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. Play the game, have fun. I know I will.
For sure. And if you're still on the fence about playing it yourself or spending the money, try out our Tabletopia. We actually have a free mod that you can come in and play completely for free and test it out for yourself to see if you like it. So definitely a good little addition there. And as always, if you're trying to keep up with whatever news we're putting out, follow us on our socials. They're there at the bottom of the screen. We're on pretty much all the big platforms for sure. We've got our YouTube, which of course, if you're watching this now, you're clearly aware of it. We also have our Facebook. Discord is a great place. We always have information. We're always just kind of chatting in there as well. So if you want to just come and chat Wildhearts with us, please do so. We're also on X. I post in. We have a subreddit for us now as well, and Instagram. I'm not a big fan of Instagram for Wildheart stuff. They don't like videos, and I like to put videos in socials. So, but we are there as well. So, just a little bit more hoops. So, whatever your favorite social media is, we're probably on there. But with that, we will catch you guys again for some more reveals. We've got lots of stuff. We've got TCG reveals coming very soon. I believe starting this week, where there's someone's revealing one. So we'll definitely be sharing it on the socials once it is revealed. But with that, we will see y'all next time. Did also just forget, we didn't go over our promos. John had to leave, though. He had a meeting to get to, but I did want to go ahead and show you guys. We did do a video covering these, but I want to go ahead and throw them out there anyway. So these were the promos that came out with our Academy launch using that same artwork. Again, we did a video covering these, but yeah, now that I finally got them in person, they look so good. They feel so good. That foiling is just absolutely incredible. You can see the snowflakes pop out there, and also the one there and the heart. That's yeah. So it's just really amazing. We talked about this one earlier, but on the drill attack there, those slash marks, they actually pop a little bit better. Really see it on the Amptar here though, with that white lightning is really cool. Yeah. It's like a spot foiling technique, I believe is what it's called. So there's foil, but it's not on the whole card, so it's only on certain spots, which allows it to actually pop even better. Because you could just have a rainbow foil finish on the whole thing, but having some parts not being foil actually allows it to pop even better because of that. So really love these cards. Happy to have my playsets. These are going to be going into my decks immediately for sure. Like all of these. Yeah, every one of them, it's going to go into one deck somewhere. So really happy for that.